In this video, we're going to talk about what Territory Housing used to do and what Territory Housing is doing now. But before we talk about that, there's a few important things that you need to know.
The person that has to pay the rent is called the tenant. This is the person or people that signs the tenancy or lease agreement. A tenancy or lease agreement is a legal document that lists all the rules that a tenant and the landlord must follow. That lease agreement must be then signed by both the tenant and the landlord. The tenant is the one that Territory Housing will chase if the rent is not being paid properly. With the old model, tenants were experiencing big rent debts without them even realizing it, until those debts were really high. Some people have been coming to NAJA with debts over $20,000 without them even knowing it. The tenant is responsible for the rent debt in the household. Other mob may live in the same household, but they do not have the same responsibilities. Other mob can help the tenant out with the rent money, but Territory Housing won't chase other mob if they don't pay. Territory Housing will only chase the tenant. Debts can build up for a number of reasons, such as Centrelink payments get cut off, relocation, cultural reasons, Centrelink deductions aren't set up properly, and housing deduction forms aren't processed properly. With the current model, this has come into effect as of 6th of February 2023. Territory Housing will no longer ask you to pay a bond when you move in. All remote rental debt owed to the Territory Housing up until the 11th of December 2021 has been finished. So Territory Housing cannot go after tenants for this old debt. The new rent is $70 per bedroom. That's including empty bedrooms. So if your house has 2 bedrooms, your rent is $140 per week. This goes up to a maximum of $280 per week. This means if the house has more than 4 bedrooms, your rent still can't be more than $280 per week. Territory Housing are saying they will tell the tenant straight away if any payments are cut off or if debts are accumulating. They are saying they are going to try and stop those big rent debts from building up again. There will be no more rental rebates. A rental rebate was a subsidy given to eligible public housing tenants to make their rents smaller. The new system is $70 per room for everyone without any rental rebates. This new model is trying to make the collection of rent easier. If tenants are at risk of rental stress, where the rent is more than 25% of the total assessable household income, a safety net can be applied. This safety net will mean that the rent is only 25% of the household income. This is to make sure that people aren't using most of their money on rent. To enjoy the protection of the safety net, it is important that Territory Housing know how many people are living in the house and who can help out with the rent. For example, if some rent-paying family members move out for a while and the tenant is left without help to make the rent payments, the only way that the tenant can get the rent reduction is if they tell Territory Housing that those rent-paying family members left. You might be able to get on that safety net and get your rent payments to be smaller. If you fall behind in your rent, Territory Housing might go to the NTCAT, which is like a court. They might ask the tribunal to order you to pay the money you owe. They might even evict you. If Territory Housing say you owe them money, call NAJA straight away. If you have any housing problems, you can call NAJA.